Oh, are we there? Hey, there we go. Hi, everybody. Hello, how are we today? It's Wednesday. No, it's a Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. And hello, how are you all doing? I hope you're all having a beautiful week. I hope the kids are going to school strong this week, and they're going to school confident. Let's see. Today it's gorgeous grammar, grumpy grammar, actually, as I named it, grumpy grammar day. It's all about preparing your kids for their SAT. So if you're a parent and you've got children in year 6, this is for you. Okay. Case to One-to-One Tuition. I'm Matt, and I run Case to One-to-One Tuition, a pokey little tuition company just on the edge of the East Coast. But I'm here to try and help as many kids as I can. All right. So if you've got kids that you know are struggling in school at the moment, this is for you, because this can help you to help empower them to feel strong every day, going to school confident, going to school happy, and leaving every lesson feeling really, really successful. So this is Grumpy Grammar Day today. It's all about grammar. Ugh. Do we have to do grammar? No, of course we don't. Let's see, but these are the rules. What is grammar anyway? I mean, these are the rules of language. Okay, essentially, these are the rules of language. Do we need it? Well, to be honest with you, it's changed a lot since we were at school. If you were like me and you went to school in the 80s, and the 90s, then it's all changed quite a lot. 2014, it all changed, and you might have found that certainly when you were in lockdown, if you were supporting your kids during lockdown, you might have noticed that things kind of shifted and changed. And so it's important that you get a good grounding in some of the basics of grammar, so you can, so that you can support them. So often parents, when I sort of speak to them and try to help them through some of the things that they have, some of the problems that they have with their kids in schools, then so often when you're like, when your kids are 4 and 5 and 6, and they're in key stage 1, they're year 1, year 2, year 3, they'll give you your homework and go, "Mummy, Daddy, can you help me with my homework? What is 1 + 1 anyway?" And then you kind of pick it up and you take it on board and you go, "Well, that's easy, son, that's 2. Okay, and what about if you have 2 times 2? What's that?" And you go, "Oh, that's very easy, son, that's 4. And you look like a parenting god. You look like a mathematical god, like you know it all. And your child looks up at you and goes, "You're amazing, you're fantastic." And then key stage 2 happens, and all of a sudden what happens is they turn around to you and say, "Mummy, Daddy, what is a subordinating clause? And how do I use a superlative anyway?" And you go, just ask your teacher. Because at that point, you have to step away, because you're like, "I don't bloody know. I don't know. Why would I know?" So anyway, this is your chance to have some extra help with them. So look, extra help for them. So today it's all about, last week it was all about nouns. That's one of the most fundamental words. You got to make sure you know it, make sure the kids can identify it in their spellings. If you're not sure about it, you can check back to last week's session. Have a look. It's all about nouns, how to identify nouns. Does your child know what a noun is? If they don't know what a noun is, that can suggest that there's some serious problems, especially if they're in year 6. But to be fair, they should know what nouns are from the end of year 3, really, if not before. So if you can ask your child a straight question, say, "Hey, what is a noun?" And they go, "Is it something to do with a thing?" Okay, then you might well have some troubles there, and you might need to kind of speak to the school, speak to their teachers. Just go online, check out a few videos. There are plenty of others just like me. Do you know what I mean? You can kind of go on there and find out, and sit down with them, make sure they know this stuff, because it is going to come up in their grammar activities. It is going to come up in their writing. And you know what? If you know your grammar, you become a much stronger reader too. Because, a big part of reading is guessing the meaning of the word. And if you can understand what the class of the word is, whether it's a noun, a verb, or an adjective, can give you a lot of hints as to what is happening and give you a lot of clues about what that word might mean. So they're really, really important classes to learn so they can take part and actively engage in their lessons happily. Okay, so look, grab a pen, grab a pad, grab a coffee. I've got mine. We're going to take you through it a little bit nice and easy, okay, regarding grammar. In particular, today we're looking at verbs. All right, so let me just load up my thing on my iPad. Put any comments you might have in the box. Don't forget to ask questions. Oh, something I should shamelessly promote myself as well. We're running times table takedown sessions now. So these are big group sessions, still filled with massive impact for every child. Times table takedown sessions every Sunday morning from about 10. We're getting some inquiries now, which is exciting, and we just want to keep building that and building that and building that. Because if your child goes into school without a complete set of times tables, this can spell problems from every maths lesson that they enter into. All right, and more often than not, it's very easy if they don't know their times table to be left behind, which can then obviously impact their confidence, impact their self-esteem, impact their beliefs about what they feel that they can do, whether they feel that they can achieve, and this can create any number of problems, including depression, obviously low mood and depression in the worst cases as well, and you can start to see tantrums and problems there too. So so if your child doesn't know their times tables yet, £5, 1 hour, easy peasy, get them into times table takedown, and we're going to take down their times tables and help them to learn them really, really well, so they don't have to worry anymore. Okay, and they never forget it, which is great. So anyway, let's share my screen. It's all about grumpy grammar today, and it's all about verbs. All about verbs. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Right, so grumpy grammar. Grumpy grammar. Shall I write it? I'll write it. Grumpy grammar. Why call it grumpy grammar? Why not something much more fun? Well, because to be honest, grammar can make kids quite grumpy and the adults quite grumpy as well. So I thought that it would be a nice idea. And today it's all about verbs. It's all about verbs. What is a verb? What is a verb? Verbs appear in every sentence. In every type of sentence. All right. In fact, it's hard to have a sentence without a verb. So verbs form important parts of every sentence. Last week we talked about nouns. What is a noun? Remind me. Tell me the definition. I want to hear it. What is a noun? That's right. It's a name, place, thing, or idea. Name, place, thing, or idea. Name, place, thing, or idea. Say it to yourself. Name, place, thing, or idea. Okay. So it's anything that's a name is a noun. Anything that is a place is a noun. Anything that is name, place, thing is a noun. Anything you can touch. Anything you can touch. Look around the room. Anything you can touch. That's a noun too. Okay. Or an idea. Things of the mind, like a fear, for example, would be a noun. For example, a fear would be a noun. A love of something would be a noun as well. Okay, so these are things of the heart and of the mind, and because of that, we call them ideas. And so they're also things because the mind makes it a thing. That makes it a noun. Okay, so nouns. Okay, so every sentence will use a noun. And every sentence will use a verb as well. So what is a verb? Well, in a nutshell, a verb is a having, doing, or being verb. Being word. And this might be a little bit different. If you've got a child with you and you just ask them, hey, look, little Jimmy, what is a verb? He might say, oh, it's a doing word. And he'd be right. It is a doing word. It absolutely is a doing word. However, it's also a having word and a being word too. And if he doesn't know the other two, then you're going to run into some troubles. Okay, so if we just sort of take this a little bit further, let's go with an old classic. If we just say the cat sat on the mat. This is obviously a classic. The cat sat on the mat. Where is the verb in there? Where is the verb in there? Is it the? Is it cat? Is it sat? Is it on? Is it the mat? I'll let you think about it. Write it down. Write it down. Get it into the comments. The cat sat on the mat. Get it into the comments. Write it down. I'll respond. Okay, so nouns are the things you can touch. So what can you touch in the sentence? Well, you can touch a cat and you can touch a mat. So that makes them nouns. So those ones are the nouns. Did you pick them up? And then the verb, you might have a doing word. So you might have sat, which would be the verb. That's the thing that the cat does. All right, and that would be the verb in that sentence there. All right. So yeah, doing words. But then verbs could also be having words as well. So if I kind of take that forward. If I take that further forward, there we go. Okay, so you might also have what's going on with this music. I'm going to change it. Hope that's not too much of a distraction. I'm trying to go with something funky, something a bit more upbeat. Oh, I see what's happened. There we go. That's better. That's better. Okay, so yeah. Where are you? There you are. Right, so yeah, so you might well have I'm sorry, technical troubles. So yeah, so verbs, so they're doing words, actions. So what might you do? You might run. And these are the common ones. You might walk. And these are all the doing verbs. These are all the doing verbs. Let me rub this out. Let me do this again. Okay, so all of the doing verbs. Okay, that would be like run, for example. Get down. What other ones can you think of? Things that you do. What are you doing? Well, I am what? I am running. I am walking. I am jumping. What else? I am swimming. And you'll find that if you can end the word in ing, then that makes it a verb. So these are doing words. Doing, okay, doing words. But then there are also having words, okay? And having words are exactly as it sounds. Okay, any word in the same family as the word have is a having word. So we might have the word have. So I have. He have. He has. And then past tense, he or she had. And you also have. And of course, you could have hadn't as well. And that would be a variation of the same word family. And you could have hasn't as well. And and that would also belong in the same word family. Okay, so has. So remember, what's a verb? Verb is a having, doing, or being word. Having, doing, or being word. So any word that to do with have, has, had, that's a verb. And then you've got doing, anything you might do, running, jumping, walking, swimming, kayaking, footballing, playing football, playing, anything like that you can add into, that would be a doing word, okay? And then you might also have the being verbs. Now, being verbs are the weirdest ones. They're the weirdest ones because you've also got is, so he is, I am, they are, then past tense, they were, I was, I was, he was, they were. And these are the being verbs, you see. And now the thing about it is they know when they're testing, they know perfectly well that every school in the country is going to be teaching kids that they're doing words. That these are doing words, okay? However, they're not just doing words, right? Because the truth is what every examiner is going to do. Every examiner knows that they're taught like that. So here's what happens. They say, okay, so give me a verb. And every child in the country will turn around and say, jump. Jump is a word. Or walking is a verb. Every child is taught that in school. Okay, it's just standard. And then this is what they do. They get sneaky and they go in their sack. They say, Mr. A, that's me, went for a walk. Okay, and then they say, hey, what's the verb? They go, hey, what's the verb in that sentence? And of course, everyone says walk because walking is a doing word, right? But actually, it's not because it's got a in front of it. That makes it a thing. That is a thing that I went for. I might have gone for a milkshake. I could have. Mr. A went for a drive. Mr. A went for a milkshake. Mr. A went for a phone call. Mr. A went for a drink. Okay. In which case, that is a thing, which makes that a noun. So if you can append it with a before the word, then that can be working as a noun. You see? So actually it's went, which is the verb in that sentence. Went is actually the verb in that sentence. And they'll love to do stuff like that. They'll mess with you. So it's really important they know the difference between a verb and what a verb is. Ask your child, what is a verb? A verb is a, and if they go doing word, then they're in trouble because actually they need to know more than that. Okay, so that can be an indicator. You might need to speak to the school. You might need to grab some of those CGP books. You can get in contact with us, of course. We'll help, okay, to make sure they're okay. But ask them that question because if they don't know the answer to that question, that can point to some problems further down the line. Okay, have a go at creating some of your own sentences and write them in the comments below. Identify the nouns and the verbs now. Okay, I hope that's all really, really helpful. Let's stop the share there. Aaron, stop sharing. There we go. We're back. All right. So remember, we're running free online sessions on Sundays, just like this one. Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Sundays, we do a spelling competition. So come on, grab a pad, 4 o'clock with your little one. We've got to do 10 spellings to help them prepare for their Key Stage 2 SATs. All right. And of course, if your child isn't doing their SATs, maybe they're in year 5. Okay, bring them along too. It's all spellings. Who cares? All right. They're gonna need to help anyway. Come on, why not? Grab a coffee, grab a pen, grab a pad, get involved, have some family time together, and we can all kind of cluster around and we'll have a nice chat. Okay, obviously fractions is a massive problem for a lot of people, so please do feel free to jump in on our Monday sessions as well. And definitely if your child is struggling with their times tables, get involved in the times table takedown session now. Okay, you can easily do that by just contacting us through the Facebook page. I haven't done anything more complicated than that yet. Just get in touch, just drop us a line and we'll figure something out from there. Okay, a verb is a doing word, is a being, is a having, doing, or ising word. Okay, like a being verb. Okay, so yeah, well done. Okay, I hope that's all right. I think you can be really proud. Please do share us. Do like and share our page. It's really important that we reach as many families and help as many families as we possibly can do. If you know families which have kids that are struggling in the school, that are going into school unhappy, going to school complaining, going to school upset, this is a problem, and it will have a long-term can have a really long-term detrimental effect. We want to make sure every child goes into school feeling confident and feeling strong and feeling happy. Okay. If you've got any questions, please feel free to pop them in the line below, and I'll be happy to get back to you soon. All right. Thanks so much for listening. You're amazing. Okay. Have a beautiful evening. Bye.